Ta-da! Now you can hear. How crazy. All right, so that shouldn't be working. That's really bizarre. Okay, so I don't know why it did this. I logged off. I mean, I just went live a few days ago. Maybe the software updated. I'm not sure. But it deleted all of my camera, my audio, so we may be having tech problems. Yay, I know. Isn't it great? So now we're back. I don't know if I like these earrings with this. I actually changed my top. So you know what? I'm going to change my earrings. How about red? I love red. So yeah, I said the other day that I would more than likely be covering an issue that happened. How about this? Oh, I went live early. I normally don't go live until 10 minutes. It's a good thing I did, though, because I fixed the audio. But anyway, there was a situation that happened, and I was going to kind of chat about that for a minute, because I don't think people realize what a big deal it is when you gossip and how damaging it can be. Maybe I'll do a whole show on that. I do know we have a gal coming up in next week. Hopefully next week. We plan to have that recorded. I think Friday we're scheduled to record with her. But she is a Hollywood stunt woman. And she's been in everything. I was looking at her IMDb page the other day after I had scheduled with her. And she has been in major, I mean, she lives obviously out in LA County. So she's been in major movies and she's in television shows all the time. But she's the wisp of a thing. I think she's 4'8". And she's a former gymnast. So she ends up playing a lot of teenage girls in the shows and does all the stunts, or she's a stunt double, or she's an actress and she can play these young teenage girls because she looks like 14 or 15 years old, but she has a master's degree and all sorts of stuff. So her story is quite fascinating. Good morning, Carrie Ann. I hope you're feeling better. Hey, Amy. So we have her scheduled for whatchamacallit, I think next week or the week after for a coffee with Colleen, because we're switching the format. So instead of me talking, because I'm kind of running out of steam and ideas, and I think I love to interview people. I used to have my own talk show when I was in network television, and then I did some work for EWTN. And I had a talk show for them. And I just love to interview people and I love to learn from other people. So being able to speak with her as a Hollywood stunt woman and see what she's doing. And of course, we have some Hollywood costume designers coming up to talk about why they pick the outfits that they pick. And just so many exciting people. So and this actually, I did not know this woman, and she was recommended to me by somebody, I'm sure, who wishes to remain private, but she's somebody that has been in my Style Academy and the pilot program and the beta testing and all of that right from the beginning. So when she was excited when she heard about the fact that I really wanted to start interviewing people, she goes, "Oh, I know the perfect woman." And so she connected us. So I'm so glad she did, because we end up having so much more in common. Nothing to do with our height. You know, I'm over 6 feet. Well, I used to be over 6 feet tall. I think I'm settling now. I'm more like 6 foot, 5'11". And I think after my car accident, after breaking my spine, I think I am, and that's probably a lot of the reasons I'm shorter. But anyway, I'm not a gymnast. I don't have any of that background, but we have so many other things in common that we started talking by email back and forth. And I said, we just have to schedule a Zoom call and get on and chat. So I'm very excited about interviewing her. I have a friend of mine who is a relationship expert, but she has a whole another level of certification. And this sounds really like Dr. Ruth, but she is a sex therapist. So she actually has a degree, because it's beyond relationship. It goes much, much deeper than that. it goes into a far more, it's more about intimacy. So I think it's a degree. I forget what it's called. But anyway, so I would love to have Leslie on the show because she can talk about boundaries and how to set boundaries. So I'm scheduled to speak with her. I think we're scheduled. I'm not sure. I'd have to check with Andrew. So yeah, just a lot of exciting things coming up. So how's everybody else doing? How are you feeling? What's going on? Who would you like to see interviewed on the podcast or on the show? Because I really am fired up about bringing new people on board and being able to take it to the next level. It's just exciting things. And I think it'll reduce a lot of my stress as well, because there is so much going on in the growth of the business. It's growing so rapidly that it's hard to keep up with everything, and then to turn around and format and do a whole show and write a whole script for the Wednesday show. I want to provide quality, and I don't like not having quality. Hey, Lisa. So, yeah, let me check over here and make sure, see what people are doing. And not a lot of activity on Facebook. See, it's just hard to find on Facebook. It really is. Let me pop this out, see if this helps. And because of the changes that Facebook is making. Also, what we have done is I've started my own community on my website. So if you go to ColleenHammond.com/community, I'm still testing things out. So it's still, I don't know how to use the software, but I think we're starting to get a grip on it. But I'm going to start doing more of a community over there where we can discuss things. And so I try to post an interesting article. Right now, I'm trying to post one a couple of times a week. Hi, Lindsay. How are you? Amy says more about dealing with toxic relationships, especially family. Yeah. Wow, Lisa, good for you. Scaling down Facebook from over 500 to just about 174, mostly family. And I do know a lot of people that are leaving Facebook and going elsewhere, but it's just like everybody's going every which way. And that is kind of sad, but also I can't keep up. I can't keep up when people are all over the place. You know, it's like, oh, this friend went over to this platform and this friend went over to that platform, and, you know, and then you just don't know what platforms are going to be dropped. I can't remember the name of it. We were discussing it at dinner the other night, that there is an app, was it Parler? I think that a lot of people went to that ended up being dropped. So Apple doesn't carry them and Android doesn't carry them. And then you have platforms that, you know, so like Facebook controls what you see. And so I noticed when Facebook started doing that, my views went down. And then, you know, so there's so many things that every time you go to a different platform, especially as somebody like me, as a content creator and a business owner, and somebody that's trying to serve my clients, I needed to have something a little bit more that was mine. So that's why, do I have that link? Let me see. I've got like 1 million tabs open. Do you do that? I should count to see how many tabs I have currently open. Oops, I spelled my name wrong. There's my community. So let me go ahead and I'll put this in the comment section. And put that over here on Facebook too. Huh. That's bizarre. And anyway, so that's my community. And that's on my website. It's controlled by me. I'm the moderator as well as Andrew and a little bit with Jennifer. But it's just a place that's mine. And I control it, I guess you can say. So I don't have to worry like Facebook. You have to be worried about things, and then all of a sudden it's blacked out, and then there's like fact checks underneath people's comments, and it just started to feel like I didn't have control over my own thing. Do you know what I mean? And that even people who were subscribed to my groups and in my groups couldn't see my groups. And I go, no, you have to go here, you click this, and then you have to, you know, do that so that you can make sure that you see it in your feed. And I don't know, it just kind of got a little heavy. So anyway, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. At the top of the hour, when we get started in, oops, sorry, wrong side. in just a little over a minute, I'm going to talk about morning routines. And this is one of my favorite topics. And every time I research it and kind of redo my morning routine, I figured, okay, well, I'll share this because I have to keep updating my morning routine. And so if I keep updating mine, I'm sure you keep updating yours. And I always like to see other people and what they do with their morning routines, especially super successful people. How do they manage their days? How do they manage their time? So every time I tweak my morning routine, I like to share that with you and give you not necessarily my particular morning routine, but the elements that I put into my morning routine, and then how you can stack those. So abuse victims on how they heal. That's a good idea. Yeah, if you have, especially if you know people that have been through that. What the heck's with my lip? If you know people that have been through that you can recommend to me, I'd be more than happy to consider that option, because I think anytime that somebody has been through something difficult and recuperated from that, no matter what the situation, but especially in a situation like that, I would love to speak with them. I would love to speak with them. So, all right. So you know how it goes. I fade to black. Please, 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 continue to make comments and ask questions so that when I come back at the end, even if it's how do you implement that, and especially if you're on Facebook, there's only a couple of people watching on Facebook right now because, again, Facebook is hard to find. Hey, Joanne, good morning. We knew it was coming. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. We did know it was coming, didn't we? So anyway, yeah, let me fade to black, hit the record button, pull up my notes. And again, make sure you're asking those questions. And if you're on Facebook, share, make comments because it boosts us up in the feed, blah, 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 blah. You know the drill. All right, hold on a second. Black, hit the record button, pull up my notes. And again, make sure you're asking those questions. And if you're on Facebook, share, make comments. How do you feel when you start your day? When it's all organized and you feel motivated and everything gets done, or it seems like it gets done. Again, you know what you're going to do, everything's sorted, you feel brilliant and happy when you start your day. But it's really surprising how easy it is to make sure that every day, everything gets done. It seems you're organized, you're together, you're sorted correctly. So one of the secrets for success is to have a morning routine. Now, you do have a morning routine. If you track it right now, you'll find that you exactly sorted. You wake up, you check your phone first, or you get out of bed first, or do you brush your teeth? What do you do first? Just track it. And then maybe look at what sorted on the morning that the day was. It doesn't have to be a complex morning. It certainly doesn't have to be time consuming. It can if you want. My life takes a couple hours more. But in the beginning, it requires some planning and then practicing it daily. So today I'm going to go over top 7 tips, I think it was, that I have found that successful people. So today Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Colleen. My name is Colleen Hammond. If this is the first time that you are joining us and you are with us live as we're recording this, it is morning. And maybe you're listening to this on the podcast later and it's not morning. Or if it's your first time watching, my name is Colleen Hammond. I'm a former on-camera meteorologist for the Weather Channel. And now I'm an image consultant. I've been working as an image consultant since I was working in network television. I do coaching and I'm also a mentor. It's just over the decades, I've just realized that most women have no idea how amazing they will look and feel once they get their style right. And I teach women how to figure out what to wear so that every single solitary day when they get dressed in the morning and walk out the door, they're confident knowing that they look amazing and feel even better. So one of the morning routines that I have had in the past, as time goes on, I tweak it. and I change it. And you know what? We're going to start this over because I forgot to hit record, which stinks because that was a good open. Doggone it. I have a big red button on my screen that says record too. Ah, welcome to my life. Feedback on audio. Oh, I think I know what that was, Joanne. Thanks for letting me know. Which is a good thing because now I have to go back and restart all over again. Oh my God. Horrible echo. Echo. Like 10 voices. Wow. Okay, well, then it's a good thing because now that I know there was echoing, now I have to start all over again. Take 2. All right, so let's go back up here. New camera. Did you see that, how that worked? Fade to black. And then I have seriously, I have a big thing on my screen that says, hit the record button. And I looked right at it and went, okay, and forgot to hit the record button because I was messing around with my audio. And when I messed around with my audio, you all got feedback. So there you go. So everything happens for a reason. All right. Now I will fade to black. I wonder if, let me check something. I got to go to this wide shot. Opening animation. Can you hear, can you hear the music over the top of that coffee cup? Because I think that's where the feedback is coming in. So let me know if, okay, so I'm going to do this again. Can you hear the music over the top of this coffee cup? I know there's a big delay. So you can. Okay, so that's interesting. Oops. That's interesting because, let me do that again. That's interesting because that audio is not on my recorder. Okay. All right. So that was the audio problem because I had a different layer of audio underneath there. So there was I'm not going to explain it to you. It's too far. It's too complicated. So anyway, okay. That's why I like to catch you live. It's helpful to see how you deal with things when they go wrong. Well, you should see me some of the other stuff that goes wrong. Alrighty, so, like one of the things I forgot to do this morning is I always contour my chin. And I forgot to contour my chin this morning. See, I contoured my cheek. I have to get my nails done. I contoured my cheek, and I contour my nose, and I also contour under here. Oh, God. Anyway, so I forgot to do that this morning, so... Anyway, alrighty, so let me go back to, where's my title slide? Okay, pre-show. Alrighty. Bum, ba, ba, ba. Okay, Joanne, thank you. All right. I don't know why I heard that. I have all my things turned off. Okay, so let's try this again. And you get to hear me say the exact same things over again that I just said. Isn't that fun? Take 2. And 3, 2. Hit record, Colleen. Wouldn't it feel great to start your day motivated, organized, and the day runs smoothly? Everything gets done. Every day can be that way, right? Surprisingly, it doesn't take that much to start your day right and get a good morning, creative morning started. And one of the secrets to success, very successful people, is they have those morning routines. They don't have to be super long. Mine is 2 hours, but that's by choice. It doesn't have to be time consuming. It doesn't have to be hard to follow. You just have to have a routine. And guess what? You already do have a routine. Right now, you have a set routine where you get up in the morning and you do specific things every morning. So why not craft that morning to be the best morning every morning so that you can have an amazing day? So I have recently redone my morning routine. I did a lot of research and checked with a lot of people who are very successful to find out what they did. And I'm going to share with you this morning the 7 top things that you should consider adding to your morning routine. Hey, thanks for being here this morning. We are recording live and it is the morning. So if you're listening to this on the replay or on the podcast, that's why I'm saying good morning. So consider us joining us live on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook for the recording so that you can participate in the conversation before and after the show. And if this is your first time listening, thanks for joining us. My name is Colleen Hammond. I am a former on-camera meteorologist for the Weather Channel. And since that was a long time ago, and since then I've been working as an image consultant, coach, and mentor because, over the decades of working with women, I just found that they have no idea how amazing they feel when they get their style right and they know what to wear. And I help women figure out what to wear so that every day when you walk out the door, you know that you look amazing and you feel even better. So today we're talking about morning routines. And there's about 7 elements that the most successful people implement into their morning routine. So as I said in the pre-show, when you get up in the morning, you already have a set routine. There's already things that you do. Now, do you flip open your phone and check social media for half an hour? Or do you hit the snooze button repeatedly for, like every 9 minutes or whatever? Do you get up and make coffee first thing in the morning? Or do you hop out of bed and put on your exercise outfit and you exercise first thing in the morning? So the first thing you're going to want to do is track what you're currently doing, because the best and easiest way to change a habit is to stack a new habit on top of something that you're already doing. And that's a completely different program. You have to check the archives for the habits shows. But that is something that I've talked about in before in the past rather. So first and foremost, you want to get an early start. So the most successful people in the world get up early. Now, is every single solitary successful person in the world getting up at 4:30 a.m. or 5:30 a.m.? No. But what's early for you, right? So try setting your alarm a little bit earlier. And I have other shows that I've done on how to train yourself and your body and what works best. But long story short, do it in 15-minute chunks. Your body can adjust to 15-minute chunks, not full hour chunks. So when you're backing up your wake up time, do it 15 minutes at a time and do that for a couple of days and then set the alarm 15 minutes earlier, etc. So try to wake up an hour earlier than you currently do and set yourself this commitment that you're not going to hit the snooze button. That when it's time to wake up, that you decide to get up. Not because you feel like it, because that's the worst thing in the world that you can say to me, quite frankly. If you say, I just don't feel like it. What are you, 2? Are you a toddler? Get over it. You're an adult. We do things because it's the right thing to do, not because we feel like it. So get an earlier start, which means you're going to go to bed earlier. Have all other shows on the importance of sleep too. So get yourself to bed earlier, wake up a little bit earlier, and especially if you can get up before other people in the household get up, there's that beautiful quiet time in the morning that I just love. When I'm the only one awake, I can sit and do my morning routine in silence and stillness and do what I want to do and do what I need to do. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is getting your mindset correct. So different people with different thought processes will do this differently. But you want to set the tone for your day in a positive way. And you want to visualize success. You want to, all the positive affirmations and stuff. I decided one time I wanted to read the Bible in a year. So I did that. And I had a program that I followed that said, now read this, now read this. And it gave certain passages to read. So that was part of me getting my mindset. Right now, it's about it's prayer time and meditation, because those two things are two different things. Prayer is speaking, meditation is listening, right? So there's two different things. Then there's people that really like to do affirmations and visualizations. So anyway, you want to spend a good few minutes on your mindset. So whatever that means for you. So I particularly have prayer and meditation and then affirmations. And I use an app called I Am. Actually, my daughter introduced me to it. It's amazing because throughout the day, you can program it to set little reminders to help you with your mindset. Now, I used to do that on my phone and set reminders on my phone. But this is so much better because the app has thousands of affirmations that you can choose from, and then you can write your own, and then you can program it to set random reminders throughout the day or at specific times of the day to remind you of certain things. So anyway, those are some different ideas. So that positive mindset is number 2, is getting your mind in the right direction. Number 3, you knew this one was coming. Get your heart rate up. Your heart rate goes down at night. You go through this big rest. Your brain reflush, your liver flushes between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Your brain has to flush and clean itself out. So there's all these things that your body does when you are in a very low heart rate, but you want to get your heart rate back up in the morning. So whatever that means to you, get your blood flowing, get your heart pumping some oxygen, and wake up your entire system. And this doesn't mean running a marathon. I mean, if that's your thing, if you've never exercised before, maybe it's just stretching. Maybe the first thing you do before you get out of bed in the morning is to stretch. And just lie there in bed and stretch, and then sit up and do some other stretching exercises and twist and move your spine and get your spine moving and just get your blood flowing. Maybe you're going to jog in place. Maybe it's a heel pound. This is something I just recently saw. I think I saw it on TikTok, that you stand and just pound your heels on the floor for 1 minute. So you go up on your toes and pound down in your heels. And this is kind of like being on a mini trampoline. And if you know anything about the importance of trampolines, what it does is it gets your lymph system moving and draining. So maybe it's just heel pounds for a minute. But just something for you that will get your blood flowing and get that metabolism boosted. I'm not even going to get into the importance of blue light in the morning, but if you can get sunshine in your eyeballs for a couple of minutes in the morning, means step outside in like real sunshine, fresh air. And if you're into grounding, you can go barefoot, but just something for your body, to get your body, treat your body kami-kali. Think of all the beautiful things your body does for you. It's quite a gift. Take care of it. Number 4, you probably knew this one was coming too. Water, water, water. Make sure to keep yourself very well hydrated. Not only, that's the first thing I do in the morning, is I have a huge 32-ounce cup of water of reverse osmosis. I drink reverse osmosis water, and I pour it the night before, and I put it on my sink in my bathroom. So in the morning when I get up, I go to the bathroom, and there's a big old glass of water, because you haven't hydrated all night. And your body needs that to get lubricated and get moving. You need to have water for your brain. You need to have water to lose weight. Your body has to flush out all the stuff that you're getting rid of. So sometimes I used to do warm water, like an 8-ounce glass of warm water with lemon juice in it. And now I'm actually doing water with apple cider vinegar in it. Herbal teas, green juice, green teas, all these things are really good for your system. But the best thing in the world is good, clear water. And during the day, you really should be drinking about half your body weight in ounces. So up to 100 ounces a day of water. Lots and lots of water. Number 5 is to plan your day. If you want to have a successful day, you have to have a plan. And I do this the night before, so I don't have to worry about it in the morning. I plan tonight. And then when I get up in the morning, I don't have to think about what to do. Because again, I'm saving that brain energy. Every time you make a decision, your brain uses glucose. So every time you think or decide something, your brain has to use energy. And it only has a certain amount of energy that it allots for the day. So the less thinking you can do, And the more routine you can have and stack those routines on top of each other, there's no thinking, there's no decision process. You get up, you know exactly, I'm going to do these particular things. And you do them, and you do them in a particular order, and you don't have to think. That's why when people say, I'm going to take a break, and they pull out their phone and they play Candy Crush or, whatever, your brain is still making decisions. You're not giving your brain a break. It's not really, it may be a distraction, but you end up using valuable brain power. It would be better if you just sat quietly, closed your eyes, and did a quiet prayer and meditation time. Just clear your mind and don't do anything. So that's number 5. Make a list. Top 3 for the day, nothing longer than 10. Let's be real. And make sure your list isn't like world peace. The items that you should have on your list should be broken down into projects and tasks. Whole nother show. Look that one up too. Number 6, nutrition. A healthy breakfast. I don't like to eat in the morning, but you need to break your fast. You need to get something in your system to get your metabolism going. And so even if it's just a little bit of something to ignite your digestive system and get your whole body working and get it going, then that's a good thing. Now, I like bulletproof coffee, but I forget what they call it, primal coffee. I forget what it is, but I actually have an egg, MCT oil, and some collagen protein that I put in my tea. So I have Earl Grey tea and green tea in the morning, and I put the egg, the MCT oil, and the collagen powder in my tea, and that's my breakfast because I don't like to eat. So, but having something nutritious in the morning to get your system going is a good start. Number 7 is reading. Do we really even focus and read anymore? Our attention spans have become so scattered. So taking a few minutes to sit and read something educational, inspirational. For me, it's important for me to learn something new every day. So I feel good if I'm like, I didn't know that. If I have an aha moment every day, I feel good. That's just something for me that I like to do. Now, when's the last time you picked up a book and read a book? I try to read a book a week. And I don't always do that, but that's something I strive for. And so I probably get every week and a half, 2 weeks, I probably get a good book in, and I'm trying to narrow that down and get it once a week. So even if you say, I'm going to read 1 page, sit down and read 1 page out of a book, you'll find that you'll read 2 or 3 more. But reading to improve your mind, because gosh, we don't use all of our brain, and there's so much in there that's left untapped. And there's so much knowledge in the world. So find something that you want to learn more about and dig into it. So you can do self-help, read biographies, autobiographies of people whose lives you want to emulate, people who inspire you, people who are a role model for you. Read about their lives and learn more about the things that they do that made their life so inspirational, because your life is probably inspirational to somebody else. So get ready to be a role model. All right, so that's the 7. Now here's a bonus, because I know that this is something that drags a lot of people down, is money. So a money task. So either set yourself the goal of either making some money or saving some money, which is also making money. So maybe that means you're not going to buy a meal out today. Maybe you're going to prep your meal ahead of time and take it with you so that you're not purchasing a meal. So maybe it's washing dishes by hand. Maybe it's, I don't know. But taking care of the money situation, paying bills if they need to be paid, and getting it out of the way, because oftentimes the thing that is the most depressing is the thing that we put off and we don't do. So take care of those money tasks that need to be taken care of, and maybe every day try to think of, how can I save money today? How can I save money? Do I really need to stop and buy a cup of coffee, or can it wait till I get home? Do I really need that purchase that meal out, or maybe I can start taking my lunch to work, quote unquote, one day a week to save a little bit of extra money. Because it's the same thing as gaining or losing weight. An extra 100 calories a day at the end of a year will cause you to have gained 11 pounds. But if you're cutting 100 calories a day, at the end of the year, you'll have lost 11 pounds. So it's those little things and those little adjustments that we make in our money, in our food, in our life, that over time will add up to be something very big. So if you want to have a successful day, it's important to start it organized and positive, and you'll be amazed at the difference that will make. So I hope these tips were helpful for you. If you are listening to this on the podcast, make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so that you'll automatically be notified of new shows. In the future, we have many, many guests coming up. Hollywood stunt woman. We've got Hollywood costume designers for various movies and shows. We have successful businesswomen in all walks of life, and they're all going to be talking about something different. So make sure that you subscribe. And if you haven't left a review and you want to leave a 5-star review, if you want to leave a 1-star review, don't bother leaving a review. But if you want to leave a 5-star review, that would be really helpful because this is a new podcast. All right, take care. God bless. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time. Okay, I had to make sure I hit stop record and not stop stream because that would have bumped me off the air. And of course, I forgot to mention, as a Cappuccino member, what we'll be doing is all right, so Cappuccino or all Cafe Club members will be there, will be available, will be able to be at the live recordings because I'm going to be recording these live. And then I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but then afterwards, we're going to have a private time with just Cappuccino members, so they'll get the bonus materials from whomever I'm interviewing. So there's going to be an interview after the interview type of thing. So we're actually trying to work that out. All right, so let me go back and look at comments. I just keep moving. You know, Amy, when stuff happens, you just, like, what do? You just keep going. Couldn't hear it with the echo. Yeah, that's why. It's a good thing I started over. Good morning. I start my morning with prayer, thankfulness for a new day, let the dogs out, feed them, have a cup of coffee, go over my thoughts and plans for the day. Yeah. See, everybody has a routine. You already have one. It's like, maybe I should add, take the dogs for a walk, or something, whatever to it at all. Thank you. Raising the reaps. I love that. Intermittent fasting. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of intermittent fasting. I vary my window because I have found that to be important for me. So sometimes it'll be a 6-hour window, sometimes an 8, sometimes a 4. And then on Fridays, it's a 24-hour window because I just do like a water fast. So yeah, I think intermittent, but I think as with anything, if you do the exact same thing over and over and over again, your body adjusts. So I vary mine. Let me see this. Why am I hearing? Hold on a second. My speakers are off, but I can still hear myself in the background. I don't know why. So, but yeah, we're really excited about taking taking the show into a whole new level, which is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to take it to interviews because when I had my talk show on CNN, I love talking, speaking with people, talking to them, asking them questions and finding out more about them. When I worked for WEWN, and we traveled around to different conferences, I would interview people live, and it would be up on the speakers, and it would be recorded live, and then it would air later on the network. And I love meeting people. I'm far more interested in other people than I am in anything I have to say. So and I think that's one of the things that I think Oprah said this as well. You learn so much by listening to other people. And I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but you have two ears and one mouth. Use them in that proportion. So you should be listening twice as much as you're speaking. And I just enjoy hearing other people's stories. So anyway, oh, do you notice I got my hair cut? It is too short. I said, yeah, I said, because my daughters are hairdressers, and I go a long time between haircuts. Through my own fault, through my own grievous fault. But anyway, so I said, yeah, go ahead and take it a little bit shorter. She went a little too short. So that's okay. But she does an amazing job. I truly, because my hair, do you have curly hair or really wavy hair? There's so many things that can go wrong in a haircut. Then you've got these tags and these things that wing out and that type of stuff. So it took me a long time to find somebody who was an artist. And she was from Mexico. Well, still is from Mexico. She's a friend of mine. She still lives down the street. But anyway, she said in Mexico, there was this whole, it's like a spiritual thing. When you cut somebody's hair, you're into them and what they want, and you pray over them while you pray while you're doing their hair and that kind of stuff. But she was the only one I found. And she used to charge me $10 for a haircut. And she was in this super small town here in North Texas, population 267, right? And she was amazing. So she cut and did my hair for years. And I think it was 4 years ago. Actually, I know it was 4 years ago because it just popped up on my Facebook feed. My oldest daughter went, after she got her degree in English, and she was going to be a teacher, was having a hard time, like, okay, I got to get this, I got to certified, and so she had to take the year off before she could get to teach. She could find a job in the school system. So she thought, well, I'll just go to college. She didn't want to sit around and do nothing, typically of my daughters, right? Or any of my children, they don't like to sit and do nothing. So she said, I'll go to cosmetology school. So it was actually 4 years ago, this month, that she went to cosmetology school. Fell in love with it. She makes really good money. Excuse me. She makes really good money. She's really good. So then I think it was less than, it's a 1 year program. So she was 2/3 of the way through. And my youngest daughter decided she wanted to do it too. So she went to cosmetology. So for 3 years, I had my daughters experimenting. So if you go back and watch my videos, you'll see at one point I had like carrot orange red hair. And then it was super short, and then it was long, and then it was styled straight, and then it was styled curly. And so I was kind of their experiment, and I was fine with that. But it's funny now looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that haircut, or I remember that day. And the time that it was that carrot orange red was actually one of my daughter's teachers. I was like, oh, no, you have to mix. Your mom's a really fiery personality, so you have to mix. And no, I don't. I am a fire, but I don't want like, I want auburn hair. I don't want red hair. And her teacher actually the dean of the school, mixed that carrot top color. Not happy. How did I get on that? I get easily distracted. Hey, Kathy, good morning. Hey, my mind is so wavy. Haircuts are scary for people like us. I know. Hey, Jocelyn. Actually, I haven't seen you in forever. Yeah, haircuts are scary for us with curly or wavy hair because you just never know what's going to happen and what's going to, how it's going to turn out. And my hair ultimately is very forgiving. I don't know if my hair is very forgiving. I just know what to do with it. And there were a lot of haircuts that I would have that I would come home and I'd recut my own hair. So my children grew up with mom cutting hair and doing their hair. And I did the boys. I just cut everybody's hair. Another one of those things that, hey, how can I save money? Well, when you've got little boys and they're just getting a buzz cut in the summer, because in Texas it's 110 degrees, they don't have to go to get their hair cut, right? At Sports Cuts or whatever. So, and just a little tip. A lot of those places like Sports Cuts or, I can't think of the name of them off the top of my head, that they hire people right out of cosmetology school. So actually, when my girls were in cosmetology school, they recommend, yeah, just go to, I don't know, whatever those places are where you can go where it's just a couple of bucks to get your hair cut. And you never know who's going to be there to cut your hair. Part of the reason, and so what they said in cosmetology school, that's a great place to go to start your career because they pay you like $18 an hour or whatever. And then you do haircut, 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 haircut. You just all day, it's just like a production line of people coming in to get their haircut, and you really learn by repetition. You're going over and over and over and doing people's hair. You learn speed, and you learn different hair textures and waves and curls and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I had, like Emma, it was like I went through a lot of different people until I found Gracie. And Gracie it was like a spiritual experience for her, that she wanted to be very prayerful, and the way she touched my hair. I think you can tell a lot about how good someone is by how they run their fingers through your hair and how they touch your hair. And do they really feel the movement, the waves, because this side of my head needs to be cut different than this side of my head. And Gracie knew that. And my daughters are that way too. It's so funny because my youngest daughter, she just wants to do, they both like my oldest daughter is a colorist. She doesn't like to cut hair, but she's so good at it. They both are. But my oldest daughter is an amazing colorist. And she mixes my color, which you really can't see on camera, but there's this beautiful undertone it's like the chestnut red hair I had growing up, which I have jet black hair now. So with some gray. But she found that color that works with my skin, and I should interview her. I should have her on. She's too shy. But anyway, she just runs her fingers, and the way she runs her fingers through my hair, you can feel it. It's like you can feel if you're getting a massage, you can feel if somebody means it or if they're just rubbing your back. There's just a whole different thing. Jocelyn says 11 grandbabies, 2 more coming. Wow, beautifully busy. Still homeschooling, 2 youngest. Yeah, while living in the lockdown. Yeah, how is the lockdown up there? Native Americans and hair lore is a great thing to look up. We have 2 son-in-laws that are First Nations. No kidding. I really didn't know that. I'll have to look into that, Jocelyn. That's fascinating. I love that kind of stuff. I love having my daughter in cosmetology school. It's my duty to get manicures and pedicures. I know, Lisa. And truly, when they were in school, their teachers come over and double check their haircuts and double check their work before they let you leave. And you get it done for such a minimal price. You know, they had $2 Tuesdays where you can go in and get your haircut done for $2. And so the girls, they would cut your hair, and then the instructor would come over and double check it before you leave. So not only are you doing them a great service by allowing them to learn on an actual head of hair instead of a mannequin head, that you're getting it for a great price. Facials, to this day, I still go here to the cosmetology school. Well, I haven't this past year, obviously. But I go to the cosmetology school for facials, and you'll still pay a good $35, $45 for a facial. That would cost you $200, $300, $400 if you were going to go get it not professionally done, but you know what I mean, going to like a spa or something like that to get it done. So cosmetology schools are a great way to get good work done inexpensively. Yeah. Lockdowns are awful. We are seeing some really tragic outcomes in the mental health field. Oh my gosh, Jocelyn, don't even get me started, because divorces are up, domestic violence is up, suicides are up. For me, I homeschooled my children, so, it was like lockdown was like, meh, no big deal. It's like regular life for us because we lived such a home life anyway, and we were used to being around each other and entertaining ourselves, and especially living in 10 acres. But it's been not just the health situation, but like you said, the mental health situation with people in lockdown, not knowing how to handle things or handle each other, or interpersonal relationships and skills. There have been a lot of, from a socioeconomic, point of view and standpoint, it's been interesting to see, but very tragic to see. So anyway, all right, so went long today, but I like the fact that we can sit and chat and be with each other. And one of the things with the new format going forward, I think I can't get everybody booked at this time. Like the Hollywood people that I have scheduled to interview, they're not going to get up at 6 a.m. to come on, Coffee with Colleen. They may do it for the Today Show, but they're not going to do it. So we're going to have to pre-record a lot of these interviews. So I'll do the same thing. I'll come on live. I'll do this. We'll do some chit chat. Then I'll show you the interview, and then we'll come back and discuss it again. So it's kind of the same, because I ignore you while I'm recording that chunk in the middle for the podcast. But it's going to be with interviews with people. And like I said, Cafe Club people, when we're able to do that, you'll be able to attend the recordings so that you'll be able to, when we stop recording, to have conversations and ask questions and that kind of stuff, kind of like what we do now. But that's for Cafe Club members. We're still working out the logistics and how we're going to do that. Still don't have any idea. So anyway, so that's it for today. If you do have, like the gal that we are interviewing this week, the Hollywood stunt woman, she was a recommendation. She was somebody that's like, oh gosh, I know this girl will be great. So yeah, if you got anybody Rick said people are putting physical health too far ahead of mental and spiritual health. Oh, so true. It needs to be balanced, which is definitely not right now. It just, people were gobsmacked. I mean, they just didn't know what to do with when they were like, what, I have to stay home alone and do what? I don't know. Now it's a good time to do prayer and meditation. Jocelyn says there might be a lot of people. A lot of people are sitting on their hands these days. Yeah, it's really, to me, it was like, at first, it was like, oh, time off. And I sat around and did nothing. I can't sit around and do nothing. I go a little bit stir crazy if I sit around and do nothing. So for me, it was like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to restructure my life. And I redid my morning routine. And then I thought, okay, well, this isn't quite, so I redid my morning routine. Then I added in my Spanish class. So now I do Spanish at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I added, so I was like, okay, how can I be a better person now that I'm spending so much time looking at myself in the mirror? Do I like what I see? There's some things I would like to improve. And so, instead of just sitting around, I tried to take advantage of the fact that I have time now, that there's these things I can do. And people don't have to be driving back and forth to work anymore. So now you're saving this commute time. If you're working from home, what can you be doing with that extra time? Now you aren't spending as much money on lipstick because you're always wearing a mask. So what can you do with that extra money? If you can save it, or maybe invest it, or maybe donate it. So there's ways of dealing with the situation that I don't think people are really taking advantage of. Like Jocelyn said, they're just sitting around on their hands. They don't know what to do. To me, it's very freeing, hey, now I can start working on these other things that I've always wanted to do. And working on my Spanish is something that I took Spanish for a couple of years and I got really good. And then I moved to Michigan and nobody there speaks Spanish. So I didn't use it for, a good solid 2.5 years. And then I moved back to Texas, and just the different things I was doing, I wasn't running into people, I wasn't speaking Spanish, and I forgot it all. You don't use it, you lose it. So I'll hear words and I'm like, I am really familiar with that word and I don't remember what it means. Or different idioms or sayings or things people would say, or slang, or and you know how it is when you're first learning another language. They speak so fast, especially Spanish. So the Hispanic people are just fast. I guess everybody is. But I know I speak very fast too. So I had to start all over. But this was a nice time to do it. Anyway. All right, so Fiona, you missed it live. Jocelyn says we've been doing a lot of art, knitting. Honestly, I still have a decent amount of childcare. Kids have shift work. Oh, ooh, wow. And especially with 11 grandbabies and 2 on the way. That's so exciting. All right. Well, speaking of exciting, I need to get to the grocery store and get some stuff going. I've got my, whatchamacallit, I meet with my business manager today. Actually, I think he's here right now. And then this afternoon, I meet with my marketing manager on Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, we have a one-on-one. We sit down, we go over everything. So we missed it 2 weeks ago because, the holiday and the new year and that type of thing. And she's in the Eastern time zone, but she's up in Canada. Actually, she has 2 offices. She has one where is she? I think she has one office in Toronto and the other office in Vancouver. She's moving to Vancouver. I'm like, girl, I'm going to come and visit you. 2 of my favorite cities, Toronto and Vancouver. So anyway, I meet with Monique this afternoon, and we're going to tweak some ideas and go over some stuff. So yeah, Instagram, her art has exploded. Madeline Maley paints. Oh, I will. Excellent tips today. Thanks, Joanne. Many helpful examples. Thank you for always learning new things and sharing with us. If you're not sharing, you're not caring. So, and I don't mean Karen, I mean caring. So anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Let's get our day going. Let's get it started and get it positive and make this morning, just focus on this morning. Let's get from now until lunch and make it the best ever. Take care. God bless. I love you. See you next time. Bye.